Welcome back to Wave 3 Listens. Elder Advisors. Don't go broke in a nursing home. Now, a valuable member of the team joins us, and that is Nancy Galloway with Senior Helpers. Nancy, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, now tell me a little bit about Senior Helpers and your role with Elder Advisors.
Well, Larry calls us often when he has a client that isn't quite ready to go into a nursing home and needs help at home, so he refers them to us. And what we do is we're a non-medical home health care company, so we have the privilege of helping our clients remain living independently at home. And you know how that starts is, they oftentimes just need a little bit of help. They maybe need help with meal planning, grocery shopping, running errands, going to the doctor, cleaning around the house, laundry. That's one end of our care is what we call companion care, and then the other end is personal care. So that's things with like dressing, bathing, incontinence issues, transfers. We have clients that we help just a little bit during the day, just for a couple hours, and then we have clients that we're with for 24/7.
So it sounds to me, Nancy, like there's some kind of consultation beforehand, because you have to know where your client is in the process and when it is time to go to a senior care facility. Tell me a little bit about that. How does that work?
Yes, clients call us, or Larry refers them to us, and we go in and do a free in-home consultation. That doesn't cost the senior anything, and we just go through all of the things that we can help them with, and we devise a plan of care that's specific for them, what's going to help them remain independently living at home. Because that's what we find, AARP says that 90% of seniors want to remain aging in place in their home, and we want to help them be able to do that.
There we go, fantastic. Again, this is proof. When I have Steve on, when I have Denise on, Larry, when I have you on, no one argues with your compassion and the fact that you genuinely care about your clients. This is a valued member part of the team. Valued member. Yeah. Nancy does a lot of really critical work for you, right?
She does, and probably one of the most difficult things for me when I'm sitting down with a family is for me, and it doesn't happen often, but it does when I have to say, obviously I don't say it in this way, but it's basically, there's nothing that can be done for you. I cannot help you. And Nancy is a great linchpin for that, to avoid that from happening. Because depending on the financial variables and where the family is, and more importantly where the client, the potential patient is, it's like, but you know what, there may not be anything on a financial level for a variety of reasons that I may not be needed, but he needs home health care, then I know that it's taken care of, because I can pass that baton over to Nancy and let Senior Helpers take care of that person. And I may never see that family again, or Nancy or the family may call me 6 months from now and go, Dad fell and broke his hip. It's probably not going to be a safe environment for him to return home. So then we may get engaged. But I never really want to be able to just turn a family loose and say there's nothing that can be done, because let me tell you what, that really is, that's hurtful. That's devastating when they come in like that and they need help, and if there's nothing that we can do, on a financial level or an assistance level, that's really tough. And that's why I always like to, have a lot of group under the umbrella, whether it's Steve Langdon, McNeely Stevenson, the RE/MAX Realtor team, and Fancy and Jeff, Ryder for Moss Accounting, or certainly Senior Helpers to help fill that void, if there is one, to take care of the family.
At times I think there's a misconception here about this is a dire situation, and sometimes it probably is a dire situation. However, there are some good outcomes too.
Oh, definitely.
Nancy, your job has to be very rewarding, as is yours, Larry, because at times you can really change people's lives for the better, and they didn't expect it. Tell me a little about that.
Well, our mission is improving quality of life through a dedicated care plan, and we do that by continuing to fortify our bench of qualified caregivers through, a lot of training and rigorous background checks. So, we help all kinds of clients. I have clients that we just provide transportation to. I have clients that we are with, taking them out to do fun things like go hear piano players. I have a client that we help in a nursing home already, but she just needs a little bit of companionship. We have clients that could really be in a nursing home but choose to stay at home and just have 24-hour care. So we can help lots of people in lots of different ways. And I think a misconception too is the cost of home care. A lot of people don't realize that oftentimes their long-term care policy does have a rider to cover long-term care or to cover home care. So a lot of times that's missed. And, I'm happy to go in and sit down with families and look through their long-term care policy and call the long-term care company with them to confirm what they will pay for home care. And then also there's the VA benefit that both Larry and I can help clients get that for a veteran and a surviving spouse of a veteran, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Larry, let's say that there's someone watching now and they say, I'm not really worried because I have the money, I have the means, I'm putting away money for mom or dad or my grandfather, whatever the case may be. So my question to you is this: there's still ways to do it, to delegate that money correctly, because you don't want to spend foolishly. You want to make sure that, hey, like you said, protect those assets, right?
Right. And there's actually, for me, there's really 3 levels of estate planning, and of course we talk about, Jennifer, I'm sorry, John. Jennifer, she's big on promoting our workshops. Yes, Jennifer.
We'll do it.
It's tonight at the 4 Points by Sheraton on Crittenden Drive at 6 o'clock. And, of course, tomorrow. Jennifer, I'm trying to get there.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Keep up with the panel, Jennifer. Change the panel. Thank you, hon.
It's telepathic. He has no earpiece. It's unbelievable.
You're giving secrets. I have showbiz. That means show business. Don't do it, John. I expected better from you.
I apologize.
And, of course, at the Hampton Inn tomorrow at 10 o'clock. But at the workshops, we discussed there's 3 levels of, really, for us, estate planning. There's pre-planning, which is really what you just talked about. There's things that the family can do now well ahead of any real crisis to start getting assets protected. So if there's an issue down the road, they're not exposed. They don't have to be surrendered to the nursing home and lost. That's pre-planning. The other complete spectrum is crisis planning. Dad's in the nursing home. We're going through $8,000 a month. We're going broke. What do? That's crisis planning. The variable of that is a third. It's what we call pre-crisis planning, and often that's where Jennifer, and who is Jennifer? I have no idea who Jennifer is. Nancy Galloway. Okay, I'm sure there's a secret message there. I'm not sure. Thank you, Jennifer. You know, if Tammy were here, this wouldn't happen. So in any event, that's where Nancy comes in on the pre-crisis planning, because Dad had some rehab. He's back home. We're trying to keep him at home now. We don't want to have to go to long-term care, $8,500 a month. So often on my model, that's where Nancy Galloway and Senior Helpers comes in on the pre-crisis planning, which is keeping Dad okay at rehab, maybe at the little light therapy, coordinating with our agencies to keep Dad at home.
All right. Speaking of this show business line of thinking here, so
don't talk down to me, John Ramsey.
I'm not.
Don't do it.
So tonight at the workshop and tomorrow morning at the workshop, what is the run of show? What exactly will happen? Do you open up, kind of give an overview, and then talk to experts, or how's it work?
Yeah, it's basically, you know, I kind of open up. I just kind of go over some basic concepts, some misconceptions people have, kind of go over all that. And then we introduce, of course, we're delighted Mr. Lang is able to come back as our guest speaker. He brings the legal component, because to do it right, you always need a legal component, and more importantly, the right legal advocate, because Steve is a former trial attorney, he's a former prosecutor on both sides of the river, Kentucky and Indiana, and when you're trying to protect literally hundreds of thousands of dollars, you better have the right attorney in your corner that will not take no for an answer, because it is difficult to protect those assets. So you better have an attorney that knows what to do, and not some attorney that's just saying, here, take some papers, fill them in, and get it back to me. And he goes off and plays golf, and 3 months later, Mr. Smith went through $21,000, and there's nothing to show for it. So we really hit the ground running with that.
All right, and Nancy, if you would, for those who would like to get in touch with Senior Helpers, and maybe have a consultation, or like you said, pre-plan, what's the first step? Just give you a call?
Just give us a call. I think you have my information up on the line there. It's the phone number 690-2648, and we have 3 offices. Our main office is on Taylorsville Road, but we also have an office on Dixie Highway, as well across the river on Grant Line Road.
So is there any like singing tonight, tomorrow morning, Larry? I mean, how much of your skill set will they be able to see?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because it's not so much the skill set, but there usually is a running debate about if I really look like Rock Hudson or not. Because when we open up with the PowerPoint, there's some pictures and stuff. And, God made me the way I am, John. I can't help this. But when the picture, the still image, captures me, I look like Rock Hudson about 1967. I can't help it.
The young Rock Hudson.
The young, dynamic, beautiful man.
All right. Again, elder advisors, don't go broke in a nursing home. Let's put the information about the workshops on before, and we'll bring them back here after the break. But again, don't go broke in a nursing home. There's that information. You'll meet Larry. You'll meet Nancy. You'll meet Steve. The entire team will be right back on Wave 3 Listens Live.